So, did you find your kidnappers?
No.
Kidnappers? If the report hadn't come from Colonel Wyman himself, I would not have put any stock in it. Except for you. We haven't had a guest for a fortnight. What sort of a devil takes hostages in the winter?
Do you keep the tavern?
Aye.
Fair warning. A dozen blackguards took our prisoners out on the King's Highway.
Prisoners?
Deserters. We're with the 29th.
We heard there were kidnappers on the highway. If you're with the 29th, why aren't you wearing your regimentals?
Never mind the regimentals.
There he goes, Bob.
You're under arrest, friend.
Arrest? You? You keep a bloody tavern.
Here you are, Abby. Thank you. Weedle? Bob Weedle? Lord in heaven.
Sergeant Bob, how long before we go back to Boston?
Oh, no need to rush, lads. This country has a blooming rose or two even in the winter. Passing strange country, if you ask me. The justice of the peace, out pruning his own apple trees, tapping his own cider.
Tending our chamber pots.
Sergeant Bob will show the beggar what it means to delay the King's troops in the proper execution of their duty, huh, Timmy?
Sergeant?
The lads and I were wondering, Squire, if you could spare us a chamber this evening.
Bob Weedle, you're under arrest. You've been sworn as the father of...
Say hello to your daughter, Bob.
When you get back to Boston, get word to the Colonel straight away.
Hi, Bob.
And leave the girl out of it if you can.
How's that, Sergeant Bob?
That's a bit like...
Shh, I know. Just remind the old war dog that this is the same lot of militia that rounded us up last year and made us lose our deserters.
Hi, Bob.
That's our Jimmy fella Bob for you. A diversion.
Shh.
Listen here. If Bob doesn't return to his regiment with a wife and baby, quarter session court meets here in 2 weeks. You'd best...
Nah, Captain has to say I to a wife, and the captain doesn't fancy wives in his company.
I trust the captain's a reasonable sort. If he knows he loses Bob here to the country while he works off his bond, he may...
Enough of that. When Colonel Carr finds out that you're the same band of brigands that lost his deserters last year, this won't be about the little brat for long.
Tell the whole tale, Mom. You didn't have the pluck to wear your regimentals. We thought you were kidnappers, highwaymen.
So you just cut them loose? Well, the Colonel didn't go for that.
Grieves me, but that's all history now. You've got yourself in a bit of a fix here. We don't take kindly to raising the Mary begotten of every lobster who roams the country. Some of the boys want you lashed.
It's not Bob's what's in trouble. It's you. You see, Bob's a favorite of the old man. If you see us again, it will be with a 6-pound enter. Big enough to put a hole right through that pretty little tavern of yours.
You're not just picking a scrap with me, Mr. Rhodes. You're asking for vengeance from the entire 29th Regiment of Foot.
Boston's a long way off. I'll risk it.
Besides, what would you lash me for?
Fornication.
Fornication?
Don't they school you in the King's Army?